Hello, everyone. Welcome to this morning meditation. So, this is the third day, exploring our theme, presence, at the heart of everything, free from everything. The first 2 days, on Mondays and Tuesdays, we explored the first part of the proposition, sitting at the heart of everything. And today, we are going to explore the second part of the proposition, free from everything. So let me tell you, yesterday, when I was thinking about this proposition, free from everything, I was not feeling free, not at all. And so it was feeling quite presumptuous on my part to talk about this, being free from everything. Sounds really big. Oops, sorry, I lost my earphone. So anyway, the truth was that I wasn't feeling free from everything. I was feeling quite overwhelmed by everything. Circumstances in my life are quite heavy right now, as I already told you. My husband is ill, and yesterday there were some more complications. And so that generated a string of stories, a string of dramas, emotions that were carrying me away. How presumptuous on my part to give a talk on free from everything. But then I remembered that line I told you yesterday. Without losing courage, put your work back on the loom 20 times. That line of the French poet Nicolas Boileau. I needed to put my work back on the loom. I needed to walk my talk. Okay, pain was here. Coming back to presence. Coming back to courage. Patience. Trust. Again and again. Over and over. Remembering all over again that this is a training. So I inquired, what is happening here in my body? Coming back to the felt sense of what was happening. Here, present, at the heart of my experience. Not easy when pain is here. I labeled anxiety. Anxiety was here. You know that sensation of a little rat gnawing at our insides? Sitting at the heart of that. Offering loving presence. Resting, holding, loving presence. In presence of pain, anxiety, Breathing in, breathing out with whatever is here. Breathing in, breathing out. I am alive in the middle of that. And this is where the second part of the proposition comes in, being free from everything. I followed my inquiry, asking myself, what is not free at the moment? What is in the way? What do I need right now to free myself? Answer, I am adding drama to my pain. The stories, the narratives, this feeling sorry for myself. In my head, it went on like this. Is Philip, my husband, living his last days before dialysis? Is my life going to be heavy and miserable from now on? And forever? I wanted to run away. I wanted to go to sleep. I wanted to get drunk. I wanted to disappear. I didn't want to show up this morning to tell you about all this, to show you my messiness. It felt like being a fraud. So, drama, stories, narratives, what to do with them. As I said yesterday, courage and trust. And perhaps also a sense of humor. At the heart of everything, free from everything. It is a training, a process to start and over again, endlessly, right now, right here, in the middle of everything. Freeing ourselves moment to moment from the stories we tell ourselves about life. Freeing ourselves from the filter of past experiences. Freeing ourselves from too much anticipation. Freeing ourselves from preconceptions. Judgments. Beliefs that we have about life that are not useful. Freeing ourselves from who we think we are and all the drama that goes with it. This tendency to add suffering to our pain. In the parables of the two arrows, the Salata Sutta, the Buddha says, let me read this. When touched with a feeling of pain, the ordinary uninstructed person sorrows, grieves, and laments, beats his breast, becomes distraught. So he feels two pains, physical and mental, just as if they were to shoot a man with an arrow and, right afterwards, were to shoot him with another one, so that he would feel the pains of two arrows. And then further, the Buddha adds, now, the well-instructed disciple, when touched with a feeling of pain, does not sorrow, grieve, or lament, does not beat his breast or become distraught. So he feels only one pain, physical, but not mental. So the training here to be free from everything is to let go of the mental suffering, the stories, the narratives, the lamenting, the feeling sorry for ourselves, etc. When I notice there is fear here, fine. I can come back to the direct sense of that pain in the body, the physical aspect. I can tend to that. Bringing love to the pain, presence, loving presence. But the thoughts that arise often with the pain, what if this happens now? What if that happens now? And it goes on and on. What if? Are those useful thoughts? And here we need to get back into the inquiry. We need to discern between useful thoughts and unuseful thoughts. Are these thoughts useful? If they are, fine. If they are not, drop them. Drop them, drop them, drop them, over and over again. Come back to the body. Come back to the direct felt sense of the pain, if pain is here. Without losing courage when it becomes messy. Courage comes from the word heart in French, cœur, courage. We need to put the work back on the loom 20 times, or 100, or much more. And in the process of putting the work back on the loom, we free ourselves. Step by step, there is more space. We stick less to the narratives. We identify less with the stories. It is a process, step by step, and it is always happening now. So, when drama arises, and real dramas do arise. We all know about the situation in Israel right now. But what we can do is perhaps to discern what is useful and what is not. What brings even more heaviness to the situation and that we can drop. No need to fight the thoughts, no need to fight the narratives. To discern that this is not useful. When we discern that, we don't need to engage with those thoughts, with those narratives. Coming back to presence. Once again, loving presence. Okay, so let's meditate. If you need to stretch a little bit, and I will, find a comfortable position. Find your ground. Here we go. Sensing into the ground, the earth, under our body. Earth is supporting us. Perhaps we can sense it. Earth is carrying us. Let's bring our attention to the touch, the gentle touch of our body on earth. Finding stability at the heart of everything. And let's bring our attention to our spine. finding our verticality, uprightness, both resting on earth and growing up to touch the sky with our head, grounding, growing at the heart of everything. Breathing in, breathing out. Resting our presence on our breath. Inspired by the coming and going of our breath, that is carrying us, carrying us, and carrying us. It is like a gentle caress, washing through our body anew, resting on our breath, resting in silence, And we might inquire, is anything in the way right now? I love this sentence. What is in the way is the way. Sitting at the heart of what is here. Lovingly, and we might inquire and ask ourselves, when we have drifted away from presence, we might ask ourselves, is this thought useful? Is this narrative useful? And if it is, well, we can store it in our mind to remember it later and come back to presence right here. What is happening now in the body? And if the thought, the narrative, the story is not useful, drop it. Don't engage with it or disengage from it. Freeing up some space. If the thought is unuseful, drop it, drop it. Again and again. Perhaps you can sense the loosening up. Perhaps you can sense a little more space in your experience. If you can sense some space in your experience or calm, embrace it, enjoy it. Resting there. Moving, life moving. enjoy it. Without clinging, resting. What is happening in the body right now? Resting here in presence. At the heart of what is unfolding. moving through with what is moving through. Breathing. Moving with our breath. Without adding anything. Resting. Is anything in the way right here in my experience? Oh, a pain in my foot. Bringing presence to that. Embracing what is here. And when we get carried away by our thoughts and stories, Let's see if we can notice it. Asking ourselves, is this useful right here? If it is not, let's see if we can drop the thought, drop the narrative, just like that. Dropping it in thin air, not pushing it away, letting go of the grip, sensing the space as we let go of the grip, sensing the ease as we let go of the grip. Space. May we all move into our day with space, with ease, presence. So, we have a little time for questions and answers. So if you need to, you can stretch a little bit. So I'm here for you, for your questions. So if you want to ask a question, please spell question in capital letters so that I can find you on the chat. And if you want to come online, you have a little hand that you can press on at the lower part of your screen, I think. And George will make you come on screen if you wish. Okay, so I'm reading here what Turid wrote. Still the stories may stick. What to do? Yeah, stories may stick. Well, what I would suggest is that we feel into the stickiness of the story. It's like coming back to the pain. If we feel the stickiness, how they cling, we may find a way to release the stickiness because we're in the physical stuff there when it's sticky. And every time we notice that we are carried away, do the work. Dropping, dropping, dropping the story. Again and again, again and again. I hope this helps a bit, Turid. Yeah, so thank you for your comments. I see a question here from Jan. Hello, I have similar issues to you, so thank you. I wonder, thinking of what I'm losing is first arrow or storyline? Should I let go or engage? Oop. Okay, so if you don't know if it's first arrow or second arrow, you can inquire into that. Sit with, I don't know. I don't know. Am I adding stuff? Or is this the pain physical pain. Sit with the question. It's a good inquiry in itself. Is this useful or unuseful? It can take some time. Relax. Relax with the issue in itself. That's how we learn how to discern what is pain and what is adding suffering to suffering. And sometimes we need to think through what is happening. I do, in any case. So at first, the thinking process, the figuring out, may be helpful at times, and sometimes it isn't. And we learn to discern between the two. What do I see here? Oops, question. I felt a little resistance towards the concept of feeling only the physical side of pain. Isn't it sometimes helpful to allow ourselves to feel grief and sorrow? Yes, of course. Yes. We don't need to be too rigid with the teaching. Sometimes it is helpful to get completely entangled with what is happening. That's okay. And at a certain point, perhaps we will feel that things are a bit fixed and not helpful. And that is when we can perhaps learn to release what is not helpful. So let's not be too rigid. And perhaps what I was saying today was a little too black and white. So, friends, if there is nothing more, wishing you a peaceful day. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. I'm just seeing here that Anna says, maybe sometimes it's hard to know when is the moment of letting go. Yeah. Sit with that. Feel into the moment. Have a nice day, everyone. See you tomorrow.